5. I'm Diane Derby along with meteorologist Alex O'Brien. More storms are on the way, so Alex, walk us through what we can expect.
So the caliber of storms is going to be a little bit of a step down, but still we are expecting severe weather this evening. We think the coverage of the severe weather today will be a lot lower, and not as many of the storms that develop will be severe warned. But we have had severe weather in Aguilar around 3:20. Thank you, Steve, for sharing your view from your home. Large hail falling there, looks to be about $1/2 to maybe as large as ping pong ball sized stones. So right now our strongest cluster of thunderstorms is still in the Aguilar Trinidad area. We've had a few showers that have tried to go in the Monument area. So far pretty quiet between Colorado Springs and Pueblo. Our atmosphere is a little more stabilized this afternoon than initially anticipated, so that might spare us from some strong storms, but that's not the case for everybody. As you can tell, we've got some showers and thunderstorms in the Trinidad vicinity. Right now, no active warnings, but there have been a couple today. So I'm going to watch those storms here for the next couple of hours. Still some showers lingering for the rest of the night. I'll take you through the rest of this week's thunderstorm chances coming up. Thunderstorm watch in our region this afternoon, and it's in place for another 5 more hours until 10 o'clock tonight. The main hazards possible today would be hail of 1 to 2 inches in diameter and 60 to 70 mile/hour wind gusts. Now, I do want to emphasize that the caliber of the storms today in general is lower than yesterday. For example, yesterday, let's say about 90% of the storms had large hail and severe thunderstorm warnings. Today, let's say maybe 50 to 60% of the storms that exist would get a severe thunderstorm warning on them. We have had some severe weather already today, but I'm more concerned actually about northeastern Colorado, where a tornado watch has been issued. This is where we have even better storm ingredients, and that's where we'll be a little bit more concerned about the really high tier, very damaging thunderstorms. Right now, the best thunderstorms that we have in our region is this cluster in Trinidad. And so we had a storm move through Aguilar earlier with $1/2 to ping pong ball sized hailstones. Cokedale has also reported some pretty large hail today. Right now, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings, which is great because we're just getting some moderate to heavy rain. Of course, lightning and thunder is not safe to be out in. Another spot I am watching for some further development for the rest of the day would be these storms that are forming in northern Teller County and northern El Paso County. We've had some stability in the atmosphere today thanks to the extra clouds, and it's not quite as hot outside. So that's limiting some of our storm coverage so far, but I'm going to keep monitoring the potential for storms to grow in intensity through the evening. Right now in Woodland Park, you can see it's currently raining. If you're hearing the thunder, make sure you're staying inside. So the forecast not doing a great job with Trinidad right now, so showing that there's a little discrepancy between what's being modeled and what's actually happening. Now, as far as timing goes, there's still likely to be more showers and storms forming for the rest of the evening, and the spots that are under that severe thunderstorm watch have the potential for severe storms, and that tornado watch up towards the northeastern plains has overall more thunderstorm activity. But I am going to be watching a wave of energy coming through in the overnight, so we could even wake up with some morning moderate rainfall in El Paso County. But other than that, it will.
Diane Derby along with meteorologist Alex O'Brien. We are on weather alert once again with a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, Alex.
Yes, and I do want to note that the caliber of storms peaked yesterday. That was definitely the day we were most worried about. For the spots that have had about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, that would be just west of I-25, north of Cokedale in the Pond Carbo area. This is where we've had the most rainfall. Just be mindful of standing water in some portions of the interstate as well. Right now, no active severe thunderstorm warnings. This area has had a couple rounds of strong storms, so the atmosphere has stabilized a little bit, but there's still likely to be some moderate to heavy rain lightning and at least small hail in those zones. So taking us through the evening, actually many of us have had a much more stabilized atmosphere than expected today. I'll talk about exactly what that means for our storm threat for tonight and for the rest of the week, but we are not done with thunderstorms this week. Still in the forecast for Thursday and Friday. I'll have those details coming up. Been confined to western Los Animas County. For the rest of us, we still have a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 10 o'clock this evening. So compared to yesterday's severe thunderstorm watch, this one is a much lower caliber. The storms today much more isolated, and not all of them are going to reach the strength to be a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's going to be the case for the storms the next couple of days. We could get another watch and we could have a few more warnings, but it was yesterday's weather that was definitely the most severe in southern Colorado. However, there's still some very strong storms on tap today, but more so confined to northeastern Colorado, where a tornado watch is in place until 11 o'clock. So looking over the past 2 hours on satellite and radar, that is where most of the activity has been. A couple of tornado warnings in place for I-76 corridor zone and north of I-70. Here locally, as you can tell, like I said, most of that thunderstorm activity has been strongest in western Los Animas County in the Trinidad vicinity. We have some thunderstorms there right now in this purple zone here. You can see some small hailstones, nothing severe warned at this time. We've already had a couple rounds of storms move through this area, so the atmosphere has kind of wrung itself out a bit. So the severe weather threat is starting to diminish for western Los Animas County, but we have had a lot of rainfall with the multiple rounds of storms. So a flash flood warning remains in place just outside of Trinidad and mostly west of Trinidad for tonight. In the Pikes Peak region, we've had a few showers that have tried to go up, but they just haven't been able to grow. And there's a couple reasons why I think that our severe weather has been limited today outside of Los Animas County, and that's because we've had some persistent cloud cover all day, and it's also been quite smoky and hazy, and that has limited our warm up, and that has allowed our atmosphere to be a bit more stable this afternoon. So it's 83 degrees right now in Pueblo. It's not as warm as we expected it to be today, and so the storms just aren't growing as well as they could with all the water vapor that we have available to work with. So for the rest of the evening, still a few scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible, and maybe one more storm could get strong enough for a warning. And it's mostly northeastern Colorado over the Palmer Divide and I-70 that I'm more concerned about severe weather continuing tonight. There's going to be a wave of energy moving through our area overnight that could give us some light showers to start the day on Thursday. Our temperatures will thunderstorm watch compared to yesterday. Yesterday it went into the wee hours of the morning, and this is a lot more typical in terms of timing for thunderstorm activity. And in fact, most of our thunderstorm activity that was severe warned has already happened, and things are actually starting to wind down this evening. Where I'm most concerned currently is with our current flash flood warning, where we've had 1 to 2 inches of rainfall just north of Trinidad, and especially in this zone west of I-25. That's where we had 2 inches of rainfall today from multiple severe storms that rolled through. I know the Aguilar area, Cokedale area had severe hail this afternoon. So that's where I'm most concerned for any active threat. There is also a thunderstorm that's moving towards I-25. Maybe avoid Raton Pass for the moment while this storm passes through. It's not severe right now, but there could be some hail within that, as well as gusty wind conditions. I'm going to be tracking more storms for tonight and tomorrow. I'll take you through the futurecast coming up. And most of that favored the Trinidad vicinity and western Los Animas County. Here's a view from Steve. He had a severe thunderstorm roll through his house in Aguilar today. Thank you for sharing the hailstones that you saw at your house. So we have a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 10 o'clock this evening. For most of us, that has not come to fruition today. And I'm going to talk about the limiting factors with the storms today coming up in more detail. But let's talk about about what is happening. We have the worst conditions in northeastern Colorado, where we have an active tornado watch tonight, and that's where we have the most severe storms currently. We have had plenty of activity in Los Animas County today, as I mentioned, and currently we do have one thunderstorm that's moving over the Raton Pass. Maybe avoid that stretch of I-25 for now, as we are likely to at least see some small hailstones mixed in with heavy rainfall. Speaking of heavy rain, that's definitely what we've had after multiple rounds of strong storms moved through this area. We do have a flash flood warning in place where 1 to 3 inches of rain have fallen now for Los Animas County. Portions of I-25 just north of Trinidad are included in this warning, as well as Highway 12, which includes Cokedale, where we also had severe hail reported today. So just avoid low-lying areas, and if you encounter a flooded roadway, find an alternate route. Very quiet here in the Pikes Peak region, the Arkansas River. And so I mentioned there was a limiting factor to the storms today. And let me show you our view from Pueblo. We've had some pretty persistent mid and upper level clouds, and it's been awfully hazy today from smoke. That has allowed us to be cooler than expected. I expected our temperatures today to be about 5 degrees warmer than they were. It was a high of 78 in Colorado Springs and 85 in Pueblo. We didn't get the heat, and we had this stable layer in the atmosphere that we needed that warmth to overcome for thunderstorms to continue to grow. Doesn't seem to have happened, and that's okay. These things don't always happen, but we have plenty of moisture in the atmosphere to allow for storms in our region still. And I'm going to keep the thunderstorm chances in the forecast for the next couple of days. Where I'm still concerned about storm activity tonight would be closer to I-70, where we have overcome that stable layer of the atmosphere and where we could still see some strong storms, potentially as far south as Highway 24 and of course into the I-70 corridor. There's going to be a wave of energy moving across the state tonight, potentially giving us some light rain showers in the Pikes Peak region early on Thursday morning. Thursday morning temperatures 40s, 50s, and 60s. Still plenty humid, so we'll warm up during the day, highs to the 70s and 80s, and that will result in a few more showers and storms forming. There is a risk of severe weather, generally along and east of I-25 on Thursday. On Friday, pare that down a little bit. Still a couple of strong storms possible in the eastern plain.
Well, alongside meteorologist Alex O'Brien. Alex, today's severe thunderstorm watch just expired, but who saw severe weather today?
Most of that was really confined to Los Animas County, and I do have a video and some photos to show you up to 3:20 this afternoon, and he saw some pretty big hailstones, at least $half size here, maybe up to ping pong ball size. Cokedale also had reports of large hail today, and we had flash flooding just northwest of Trinidad. So that's where most of the activity was. Tonight, we are pretty calm. There are a few rain showers here, Los Animas County, southern Sangre de Cristo Mountain Range, upper Arkansas River. But you look to our north, that's where all the action is tonight, with some strong storms up into northeastern Colorado, making their way towards I-70. I think that will be the limit of where they'll go here for the rest of the night. But there is a chance still for some overnight light rain showers here in our region, but they should be pretty tame. Eastern Colorado still has the risk of strong to severe storms, with a tornado watch in place until 11 o'clock for the counties you see highlighted here in yellow. But most of those will remain out of our area. You can see this line of storms from the Denver Metro up through now I-70, starting to approach I-70. This line of storms is very dangerous, but I think I-70 is about its limit. After it moves past that, they are definitely going to be starting to ease up in intensity. And for us here in southern Colorado tonight, should be pretty calm. However, there are some light rain showers across our area. These green splotches here are where we're seeing some light precipitation. We have a weak wave of energy moving across the state tonight, and so these patches of light rain are probably going to continue for the next few hours. So we didn't have a ton of thunderstorm activity today, and part of the reason why is because there was a stable layer in the atmosphere we just couldn't overcome. So storms tried to form, but then they just got stopped. And part of the reason why that happened is because we're a little too cool. I expected our temperatures to be about 5 degrees warmer today, but they didn't make it there. 78 was our high in the Springs, 85 in Pueblo. And so tomorrow, if we can get the heat, we still have a ton of moisture to work with. We'll still likely get some more showers and storms in the afternoon. We'll see temperatures fall to the 40s, 50s, and 60s here tonight. And tomorrow, 70s and 80s for highs, maybe a couple low 90s towards Trinidad and Springfield. If we get these temperatures, I think that's good enough for us to see some showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. In general, these should be pretty tame storms, but yeah, a couple of them could be strong to severe. As I mentioned, some light rain possible early in the morning. And then I am tracking a cold front coming in for tomorrow. That will help lift the atmosphere a bit in addition to the warming temperatures. So by the afternoon, scattered showers and storms start to form. You may get 1 or 2 rounds tomorrow. And our main hazards would be small hail, of course, heavy rainfall and lightning, and some gusty wind. And as storms progress into the eastern plains, probably closer to sunset than at night, this is where we could have some strong to severe weather as they head into the eastern plains. On Friday, we'll start off with some cloud cover, but we're starting to dry out on Friday. Still have enough water vapor to work with for a few showers and storms. They're going to favor the eastern plains for the best activity, and then we continue to dry out for the week.